few weeks ago, using a commercial search engine, I very easily found the administration interfaces for dozens of flock safety cameras. I shared this information with 404 Media, and with John Gaines' help, that number quickly grew to nearly 70. None of the data or video footage was encrypted. There was no username or password required. These were all completely public-facing for the world to see, and some of them still are. You don't have to be an expert to find and gain access to this. You don't even have to type anything in to see every single person, vehicle, and activity that took place in these locations in the last 31 days. Whether you wanted to watch this footage live in real time or look at footage from a month ago, you could just point and click your way to it like you were watching Netflix. You could even open up the live streams in VLC or cast it to a television. Making any modification to the cameras is illegal, so I didn't do this, but I had the ability to delete any of the video footage or evidence by simply pressing a button. I could see the paths where all of the evidence files were located on the file system, and I could see their hashes and signatures. Some of the devices we saw were the familiar-looking Falcon cameras that you see all over the country, but the majority of these were Flock's new Condor cameras, which are designed to detect and track people. They're PTZ cameras, meaning pan, tilt, zoom, and they quite literally use AI to zoom in and follow you around whether you're a person of interest or not. In just the time that it took to count and verify these vulnerabilities, I saw a family in North Carolina load their infant and a bunch of merchandise in a Lowe's parking lot. And I suppose one could cross-reference their license plate with the Park Mobile data breach and find out exactly where the garage is that will store these new fancy tools. I watched a man leave his house in the morning in New York. I watched a woman jogging alone on a forest trail in Georgia. This trail had multiple cameras, and I could watch a man rollerblade and then take a break to watch rollerblading videos on his phone. How? Because the camera's AI automatically zoomed in on it. Just like it zoomed in on a couple arguing at a street market in Atlanta. So what? They're still anonymous, right? No, they're not. Within 2 minutes of open source intelligence using a commercial facial recognition engine, I found out that one of them just finished medical school and the other is dealing with chronic irritable bowel syndrome. The couple also just had a baby last year and they have a pretty concerning debt-to-income ratio. I also know that they drove over 45 minutes from their address in the suburbs to attend church in Atlanta that morning, and then they checked out this market and bought a sweater. I watched a law enforcement officer and ambulance escort a man having a mental health crisis in Iowa. I know this because the Cedar Rapids Police Department maintains a public database of every single emergency call in the city, as well as daily arrest reports with individuals' names, addresses, ages, and genders. Listen, I know that I'm being creepy right now. Just saying these words out loud nauseates me. But I'm trying to show you just a fraction of the information that anyone in the world with access to a commercial search engine has had regarding anyone who attended this market or walked on this trail in the last 31 days. And it gets worse. Here's an exposed flock safety camera permanently pointed at a playground near the Bay.
All right, Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I would like to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakudash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson, and Lord willing, it's edifying to the elect. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, the leaders of all Israelites in these end times, showing us the correct way to salvation, and the prophets who I learned from. And shalom to the elect who may be watching, listening, and learning. Whoever they may be, shalom. And shalom means peace be unto you in the Paleo Hebrew. So this lesson here today, I'm going to speak about, the flock cameras that are being set up around the world, and how they're a part of the new AI beast system. The time is ripe and ready for this prophecy to be played out. Okay, because we're living in the time of the mark of the beast that the Bible speaks about. John the Revelator, prophesied about this. He was given a vision on the Isle of Patmos, back 2,000 years ago. And it speaks of this very time, he was given a vision of this time and prophesied about this time, And we're living in it. We now know that we are living in the end of times because, the life is just chaotic. It's really bad right now, if you really look into it, if you're not distracted by bread and circus, because they, have a spell on the majority of the world, keeping them in a false sense of reality, a false sense of what life is about. People are distracted by television and things of that sort, sports and entertainment, not understanding the severity of the times that they're living in. The days are getting more evil, and these flock cameras are, the end of any type of privacy that you thought you had, because Esau, he's the one governing the earth, the nation of Edom, which is the majority of the so-called white people. And I say majority because you have some that look like, other races of people, or look like Edomites, look like so-called white people, but their seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But most of them as a nation, they are the nation of Edom, and they're the ones ruling. And under their rule, they make sure that there's no privacy. They make sure that, they're watching everything. They try to be like the Most High, but they're trying to do it on the left-hand side. And these flock cameras are, highly advanced cameras that can detect exactly who you are and link it up with other databases to find out what what your favorite food is, what your hobbies are, where you go, the most places you visit in the day, just everything about you. Every little detail is all going to be tracked and traced, or is being, should I say, because they're setting this up now as we speak. Okay, and we're going to get into this, man. But first I want to bring this precept out here, right? Micah 2, starting at 1, it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." Now, what this is saying is that destruction is coming to them that work evil upon their beds, okay? Meaning while they're in power, while they're at rest, while they're in rulership. This is their kingdom, their rest. So while they're in rulership, they are working iniquity. The scriptures speak about how they sleep not unless they've caused a man to fall, meaning they take pleasure in, making life harder, making life worse, making your life more challenging. They get off on that. They have a lot of money, these elites, and, they get bored. So let's read this again from the top. "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when when the morning is light," meaning while they're, still ruling. "They practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." And who was the power of the earth given to? The Bible calls them the wicked. Okay, so let's turn to that real quickly. We bring this out a lot, but I'll just fly through it real quick. Job, all right, this is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. Let's bring this out real quick. It says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked." So the people ruling the earth, the Bible is calling them the wicked. So these are the ones that it was speaking about in Micah 2 and verse 1, which will jump back, saying that, it is given into the power of their hand. These are the people ruling, and what they've done is made life a living nightmare. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So what he did was, during the Renaissance era, he covered over the images of the icons, Yahweh Shai, the angels, the prophets, and painted them out to be so-called Caucasian people. They deceived the world, okay? They went out to deceive the world for a short time, but that short time is almost up. So they're going all out with their wickedness, okay? And part of their wickedness is to enslave everyone, okay? And this flock cameras are a big part of that beast. enslavement dystopian system that they're trying to set up, man, as a part of their New World Order agenda. So let's turn back to Micah chapter 2. It's in verse 1, it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds." So destruction is coming to these people doing this, man. These elites, so-called. It says, "When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And the earth was given into the hand of the wicked," as we read in Job 9:24. So these people are the wicked, the Edomite. Verse 2. It says, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." So the Edomite goes around to people's lands and steals land by violence, okay, and taking away their houses. You know, the Palestinians and things of that sort. And they've done it around the world, especially to our people. Anyway, verse 3, verse 2 is giving you a extra hint as to who this is talking about, what nation this is talking about, who has this kind of track record attached to their name. So verse 3, it says, "Therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family," right, this race of people, this nation, "against this family do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks." So these flock cameras are a part of that evil that the Lord is devising against, well, everyone really, but mainly the Edomite. This is for them. This is their judgment. All these things that are happening in these end times is to shake the ruler out of authority. Is to plague the ones ruling, which is the Edomite. The Lord has a special beef for the Edomite, okay? Because the scriptures say, "Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated." So, the Lord is not with these Edomites, okay? Because they are the wicked. They were not created to live in harmony with us. They were created for the day of evil. Okay, the Bible speaks about. So, against this family, the Lord's saying, "Do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks?" You're not getting out of this, is what the Bible is saying. You're stuck. You think they're going to draw back these cameras now and just say, "All right, we'll give you guys a break and let life go back to the old way." Where there was no cameras. Boy, did we take them times for granted, didn't we? But ultimately, these plagues are for them. But anyone that's cleaving to them is going to be caught up in this too. And even the elect are going to, obviously be tracked by these cameras. But, the elect is going to make it through these times. And the Lord is going to guide them through it. But the rest of these people are screwed, man. The people that are down with this world, this is the best they can expect out of it, and it's only going to keep getting worse. And I'm going to prove that with the final clip that I want to play, that's showing you how much these cameras are spreading, man. They're everywhere now. Okay, since Trump took office. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and play it now. Check this out, man.
Hey, question of the day. Guess how many flock surveillance cameras were in the free state of Florida back in December 2024? Sure looks like a whole lot of nothing. Hey, now let's check out how many flock surveillance cameras got installed after Trump took office. I guess that's what he calls making America great. Mass surveillance, invasion of privacy.
Anyway, whatever, man. So, yeah, this is where it's headed, and you saw how every month America was just being lit up with that blue like a damn Christmas tree or something, man. Okay, it's spreading ever since the Trump administration. And there wasn't any before the Trump administration. I think there was like one or two. But after that, man, the whole state of Florida was lit up, and the map of America was lighting up since Trump took office again, man, for his second term. That's crazy. That's a short period of time for all them cameras to be thrown up. And there's no reversing this. This is what I'm talking about. It's only going to keep getting worse. This time is evil. Let's close it out. Micah 2:3. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks. This is that time, man. It says, neither shall ye go haughtily, meaning proud, because the Lord is removing the pride off you Americans. You Americans are very proud, okay? And the Lord is removing that pride by these evils that he's spreading. He says, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. Okay, we're living in a very evil time. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2, and we're gonna read let's start at let's just start at verse 1. We're gonna start from the top. So this is Habakkuk 2, starting at 1. It says, I will stand on my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say to me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So what this is basically saying is that, like us in these end times, we stand on our watch, just like Habakkuk was saying that he did, what he was doing is standing on his watch, meaning, warning the people of impending danger, being a guard, basically, right? It says, and to set me upon the tower. Okay, when you're on a tower, you can see everything, okay? And what we do is we constantly watch these videos. That's a representation of us being on a tower. We bring out these videos, man. We're constantly looking for things to show you and linking it up with the scriptures and Bible prophecy to show you how real the Bible is and what time we're living in, man. Okay? It's time to repent. This is it. You need to get ready because it's all happening. Anyway, it says, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I will say, what I shall answer when I am reproved. Verse 2, it says, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So what this is saying is that, we do these lessons and make it as plain as we can, by putting illustrations like little clips in, and we're bringing it out, making it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. People will learn, and, they'll go here and there and teach others. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision is talking about the prophecies. It's for an appointed time, right? The time of the end. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Now these prophecies are speaking loud and clear. We know that according to the things that we're seeing, that we're living in the time of the mark of the beast. And we're going to get a bit more into that in just a second. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So even though this thing seems like it's taking its time, it's not going to delay. It's going to come. Even though it seems like it's tarrying, these things will come to pass. Anyway, verse 4, it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Talking about the Edomite or the current rulers of this earth. Majority of the so-called white people. It says, but the just shall live by his faith. So the just is the elect, and they live according to faith. That's why we keep our head in this book, Lord willing. We're of the elect. Anyway, at verse 5 it says, yeah, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. And the Lord is removing that pride because the Lord knows that this is a proud ruler. Okay, if you look at their king, Donald Trump, every photo of him is a pompous, proud look on his face, man. And the Lord don't like that. So the Lord is removing Esau's pride. And because he transgresses by wine, which is his philosophies, this is why he's proud. Okay, it looks like he's winning. It says, neither keepeth at home. Okay, so they're in everyone's land, stealing. It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell. So they want everything. Okay, this is why they're setting up those flock cameras, partly why. Because they want it all. They want to know everything. They want everybody. Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. And this man he's not pro-life, he's pro-death. Everything he does just brings death, man. It says, and cannot be satisfied, right? That's why he just needs more data, more and more. He wants to know more and more about you, to the point where he wants to know what's under your skin, what's going on in your vessel, under your skin, man. He wants to know it all. Cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for the sake of time, because this man is gathering everyone to himself as if we belong to him. But the elect are like, nah, we don't belong to you. We belong to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Okay, and we're taking a stand and saying, F you and your beast system. We don't want no part of it, okay? Now we're going to do what we got to do to make bread and put food on our table. We're going to use this world, not abuse it. But we ain't bowing down to it, okay? And the ultimate form of bowing down to it is when they put that microchip in you, okay? Let's go to it. Because in Revelations chapter 13 and verse 16, we go into this a lot. This is what John the Revelator had a vision of in the Isle of Patmos 2,000 years ago. And he saw that everybody was mass surveilled, and he saw that everybody was on this grid that they couldn't get out of. Living on the grid. Okay, and he saw that eventually everyone is going to be forced to partake in this beast system and to worship this beast system by taking a device into their vessel, into their flesh, that will pledge allegiance. It'll be them pledging allegiance to this beast system. Okay, and you won't be able to buy or sell without it. So this is how they're going to cause you and force you to receive it. Let's go into it. Revelations 13 and 16. And he causeth all. See, he causeth all. He's going to cause you to get it. Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, meaning everyone, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we know that to be the RFID microchip and the Neuralink brain chip. Okay, a device that they will put in your hand that will have all your information on it. And, all these flock cameras have to do is sense to simplify everything rather than going into your Bluetooth and all that. They're just gonna have all your information on there, and it'll be linked to them flock cameras. And when you pass them flock cameras, you're in a certain vicinity of a flock camera, it will be able to read all the data in that chip and know exactly who's there and every little detail about your life. Okay, every time they've caught you on video on your phone taking a crap will be on that database, and they'll be able to tap into that if they ever needed to investigate you. They'll be able to see all little details about your life. And this is him heapeth unto him all people. Okay, gathering all your information on a database. And this is what it's coming to. This is the ultimate goal of their New World Order agenda. Everyone's marching to the slaughter, and they don't even realize it, and they don't care because they're too distracted by bread and circus rather than focusing on things that really matter. That's why the Bible said in Habakkuk that the just shall live by his faith. You know, we live according to faith, man. This is how we shape our life. We read these prophecies and take them very serious. And the Bible is calling us just because we're living according to faith, man. While everyone else don't have the faith that we do. And we're going to be rewarded for that faith if we keep it up. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or their foreheads. Revelations 13 and 16. Now I'm reading verse 17. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you have to have this mark of the beast, which is a microchip. You have to have that in your hand or forehead in order to partake in the new world that they want to build. And if you don't want to partake in that, they're going to kill you. They're already pushing the agenda that the earth is overpopulated when really it's mismanaged. Everyone's packed in cities. There's a lot of land out there, but they're going to say it's overpopulated. And the ones that they want to continue living in the new world is the ones that are chipped up, the ones that are partaking in the new system, the new society that they're forming with their flock cameras, man. And it says, here's wisdom, let him, Revelations 13 and 18, here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which is 666. That's the number of the beast, which is, Esau's number, the number of this system, man, the number of, this beast system. Esau has that number everywhere. But anyway, that's the point. They're setting up these flock cameras, and it ain't gonna get no better, man. Okay, so let's just go to one more precept. This is 2 Ezra 15, and I'm gonna read 12 through 13 and close it out. It says, Egypt shall mourn. Egypt is America. Okay, it's not gonna say America in the Bible. America is spiritual Egypt. So it says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. So it is the Lord that is bringing these plagues upon America. And Americans are mourning right now. They want America to be great again. And it ain't never gonna be great again. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. This is the end times. What did you think it was gonna be like? Okay, sit back and enjoy the ride. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation, which is hurricanes and, storms and stuff. But, the crops are failing too. You got droughts. That's a whole nother lesson in itself. Oh, man, there's so much going on with the droughts, but just showing you what time it is, man. This famine is coming. Part of it is because, the farmers are mourning because their crops are failing, man. That's adding to the famine that's coming with this Straits of Hormuz situation. But yeah, the Lord is bringing these plagues, okay, because ultimately it's to punish the wicked. Death and destruction to them. So anyway, I'm going to close out here, Lord willing, you've been edified. I want to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hasham Rakha Kodash. All right, Shalom.